Hey, this is Scott at Fire Breathing Christian, and man, we have a good one to share here today, and it's a follow-up to an article we covered earlier this week on Captain America actor Chris Evans, who over the last little while on social media went on a bit of a tirade, and he's done this kind of thing more than once, but he ripped into Kanye West the other day and described basically those who are far on the other side of the political spectrum from him, those who don't share his SJW identity politics, anti-Trump perspective, as being ignorant, illiterate, knuckle-dragging Neanderthals. That went on the other day, and we covered it, and I'd recommend you checking out the video and seeing what we had to say about that. And so today, it's interesting that we're seeing a follow-up, and this is an article posted at Bounding Into Comics. I very highly recommend the site. Great place to check things out at, get a sense of non-SJW perspective on comic culture and related items. And this article, entitled "Candace Owens Challenges Avengers 4 Star Chris Evans After His, quote, racist sentiments." This is very interesting in many ways. And the first thing we just want to note out of the gate, and it's important, is that this guy's the SJW leftist. This woman is a conservative black woman. And the irony here, one of many, is that this man starts out, by virtue of his own identity politics, cultural Marxist approach to reality, and all the SJWs who share that thing, they have to start out, before anything else is considered, viewing him as significantly below her. She starts out with a huge advantage in credibility automatically, again, from his perspective, because she's a black woman, you see. So being black, an ethnicity, a minority ethnicity, not having white privilege, and then being a woman. So she's got many levels above him already out of the gate. Again, that's based on his perspective, not the rational, sane, true, adult, mature worldview, but the SJW warped identity politics-driven narrative. So it's interesting right out of the gate to see that Captain America here is starting in a deep, deep hole, really of his own choosing. And it's the hole that he would choose to put everyone else into as well, every other white male at least. Now, he may not be at the rock bottom or the lowest rung in the hierarchy ladder where credibility is concerned. I mean, that would be reserved for conservative Christian married heterosexual white men, of course. But again, we're nitpicking at that point. So let's get to the article. Candace Owens, the communications director for Turning Point USA, issued a challenge to Avengers 4 star and Captain America actor Chris Evans after he expressed, quote, racist sentiments, end quote. Here's her tweet. "By the way, Chris Evans, since you seem to suggest that black people who don't agree with you are, quote, stupid, end quote, I openly challenge you to a debate. Politicon is in a couple of weeks. Why don't you put your racist sentiments on full display and debate a black conservative? Indeed, why not? Why might he not do that? I can think of a few reasons why he probably will not do that. I really hope he does. That would be cool. It'd be cool to see this man, this privileged SJW. Talk about privilege. When you're an SJW, total privilege. You don't have to be consistent. You don't have to be really honorable even. You don't have to be truthful at all because you're SJW. But he's being called out now publicly by this black woman. What's he going to do? Is he going to man up and take on the challenge? Or is he going to run away? Interesting. We'll see. We'll see. The article continues. After Kanye West appeared on Saturday Night Live wearing a Make America Great Again hat, the superstar musician would follow it up by stating the hat and slogan, quote, represents good and America becoming whole again, end quote. He would go on to praise President Trump's recent trade agreements with Mexico and Canada before making a call for prison reform by ending constitutionally approved slavery as a punishment for those who are convicted of a crime. A lot of good stuff here. We'll be chasing some of these rapids and commenting on more of it later, but wow, there's a lot of meat in that paragraph. The article continues. Evans would insult Kanye by calling him someone, quote, who doesn't know history, who doesn't read books, and frames their myopia as virtue, end quote. He would then go on to call Kanye's opinions, quote, retrogressive, unprecedented, and absolutely terrifying, end quote. And here we see the tweet in question. While Evans decided to attack Kanye West, he praised Matt Damon's appearance on Saturday Night Live. The actor, the white guy praised the white guy. We should take every opportunity here to note the white privilege to white privilege SJW communications here that are going on. Not that I'm at all trying to endorse or imply any credibility for their worldview. I'm just pointing out, if there were two conservative white guys doing this sort of thing, they'd be sure to point it out, and they'd be focusing on the fact that they're white males. So it's at least worth noting. especially in the context of a black woman calling this guy out. Owens doubled down on the offer while once again calling out Evans, saying that he quote, just basically called Kanye a dumb, the N-word. And I'm not going to say it here just because it instantly flags everything on the YouTube algorithms, but you know what we're talking about. And he shouldn't get away with it. Well, but this is where he shouldn't, but he's an SJW, so he can do anything he wants to in support of, as long as it's conforming to the SJW identity politics, cultural Marxist narrative, then he or any other SJW tool can say anything they want to say and do anything they want to do. We all know that. I mean, the hypocrisy knows no bounds with these folks. She would even describe Evans as Captain Out of Touch with America. That is priceless. Very well done, Candace Owens. She would then go a step further, saying, quote, I take great issue with liberals insinuating that blacks that don't agree with them are no history-knowing, no book-reading dummies. And while it is true they view blacks who don't agree with them that way, that goes for everybody. Anybody who doesn't agree with them, whatever your ethnicity or sex or gender, whatever that is, if you don't agree with them, it means you're ignorant. Because if you were well-educated, if you saw reality clearly, you'd have to agree with them. That's where they're coming from. Evans has not answered Owens' challenge for a debate, and it doesn't appear that he will. Interesting. Not stunning, but interesting. It's been such an interesting subject that Breitbart picked it up and has covered it in an article entitled, Candace Owens, Chris Evans basically called Kanye a dumb blank over his Trump support. Conservative firebrand Candace Owens challenged actor Chris Evans to a debate after the Marvel movie star smeared Kanye West over his support of President Donald Trump. And this is a great quote as well from Candace. Quote, nothing pisses white liberals off more than finding out that, quote, their blacks, end quote, refuse to behave the way they wanted them to. This is something that Owens tweeted on Monday. That's powerful stuff. I mean, and it is true. We see it again and again and again with the way SJWs, particularly the very, very, very privileged, very, very, very white, very, very male types of SJWs, the way they treat black people as a group. I mean, again, it's an identity politics thing for everybody else. And so if you're not behaving a certain way, thinking a certain way, then you're not really truly black. It's amazing. But we see that frequently. You're not a legitimate black if you're not liberal, if you're not a leftist, if you're not SJW. So, and it gets, I won't go through all of this, but there's another good quote here at the bottom from Owens. Later in the article, I should say, at the Breitbart article. I encourage you to check this out as well. Chris Evans sounds like a plantation owner, end quote. Owens told Breitbart News, referring to Evans as Captain Out of Touch with America. And she goes on to say, it's them or they that think their ideas are supreme and superior. Absolutely. They're so supreme and superior that, as we've touched on already, if you don't agree, just the fact that you don't agree with them from the SJW perspective, it means you're ignorant, because you cannot be educated, you can't be informed, you can't see things clearly and still disagree with them in their world. Talk about myopia. Talk about delusion, arrogance, presumption. I mean, and this is the hole that Captain America here has dug himself into. This woman is all over him and shining all kinds of light on the rank idiocy and hypocrisy of his worldview as he's chosen to express it publicly from the massive platform that he's attained by virtue of his, you could say, white privilege or his status as the Captain America in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And so this is powerful stuff. It's an important moment. I'd be curious to hear in the feedback, if you wouldn't mind saying whether you think he'll accept the challenge or whether you wish he would. If they actually were to debate, what are some of the questions that you would like to see asked, the topics that you'd like to see engaged in that kind of debate? I wonder. I mean, I have my thoughts, and I may do a follow-up video covering some of that stuff, but it'll be interesting to see where this story goes. All we know for now is that Captain America star Chris Evans is in serious trouble. I mean, his lack of credibility and coherence has been exposed by this black woman. What's he going to do about it? Will he accept the challenge from the black woman, or will he just cower in the corner of SJW Crazyland? If you appreciated this video and you want to support what we're doing, please like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the little bell icon so that you can be notified every time we post a new video, which we're hoping to do regularly on a daily basis from here on out on this subject and related subjects. Thank you very much for your support. Without it, we can't continue to do this.